Good afternoon. My name is Rapelang, and I'm very, very privileged to be with you today. I'm going to give you a snippet into innovation and entrepreneurship based on my own journey of 10 years as a technology entrepreneur. It started in 2005. I graduated from the University of Cape Town, just 22 years of age. And less than 8 years later, I was featured on the cover of Forbes Africa alongside Wendy Ackerman of Pick n Pay, as a symbol of the next generation of aspirant young African entrepreneurs. I started my first business, Yego, in 2005 with my university classmates, and we essentially built some of the world's earliest mobile voice-over IP applications. In simple terms, predecessors to what we now know as WhatsApp and Viber calls. Naive and bright-eyed, we literally Googled our way to success. We taught ourselves everything that we needed to know about how to build the software, how to run a business online. I'm now working on my second startup, Rekindle Learning, with the ambition of using mobile technology to improve the efficiency in how we learn. Our latest product is based on providing first years with a tool to improve their English proficiency skills, knowing that your ability to assimilate knowledge is really constrained by your ability to learn in that language. And for too long in South Africa, we've used inadequate English proficiency as an indicator for low intelligence and ability. I often still ask myself how all of this came to be. How did it come to this point? I know I was never the smartest person in the room, and I was never the person with the most social or financial capital. So when I try to unpack my story, when I try to understand the relevance of my story, the purpose of my journey, I'm faced with a simple truth, that the way we understand how value is created in the world today is changing. It is no longer about having something that nobody else has, but increasingly, it's about knowing who you are, what you have, and using that to your advantage. It's about tapping into your internal wisdom. All I've ever tried to do was to follow my curiosities, was to follow the rhythm of my own soul, and I had no idea that would get me so far. I believe that everything I've been able to achieve has really stemmed from greater self-awareness. And things like innovation and entrepreneurial thinking isn't something you get from an external source. Our society spends a lot of time telling us to look out there for success, to look at people like me. But the reality is that to drive yourself to your full potential stems from your ability to understand yourself and your strengths very, very well. Let me give you a very simple example in business as to how greater awareness creates value. We can look at how greater awareness enables you to be more innovative and to excel. The more aware you are, the more likely you are to do things that you're authentically connected to. And that authentic connection is the crucial thing that enables you to see new innovative angles to a problem, to tap deeper into an issue and gain aha moments or significant insights that will ultimately deliver competitive advantage in business. Renowned investor and entrepreneur of Silicon Valley, Paul Graham, said that if you look at the way successful founders generally come up with their ideas, it is generally the result of an external stimulus hitting a prepared mind. The verb you want to be using with respect to coming up with ideas is not think up, but notice. So it is not an academic or intelligence exercise, but an exercise in awareness. Paul goes on to say that whoever you are, you have a sum total of life experiences that have prepared you to notice opportunities around you. So you see, you are the distinguishing factor in how you see the world. And greater awareness allows you to unearth that viewpoint. Greater awareness enables you to separate who you are from the circumstances that you face, so that you see those circumstances as changeable, as movable, as non-permanent. This is not airy-fairy feel-good stuff. This is the primary source of competitive advantage and value creation today. In my journey, I have always felt that this has been quintessential to everything I've been able to achieve. And when I talk in my talk, I give you an organic view of innovation and entrepreneurship that I believe anyone can use. I show you that every individual is capable of using their internal value to create, or internal wisdom to create value. And this is critical in the socioeconomic times we live in, because if you don't believe that you personally can create value, you end up, by the sheer burden of the need to survive, you end up believing that value is something that is given through donations, grants, inheritances, free lunches, undue reward. Or you end up believing that value is taken through theft, corruption, greed, aggression. Through my journey, I show you how I have created value, and I show you my truth. And I ask you, what is your truth? Thank you.